Join the movement. Go all electric with Pure Electric.
Hi, I'm Brendan.
Hi, I'm Steph.
And welcome to our California Gully home, our all-electric retrofit. So we'd like to acknowledge that our house is located on unceded Jara country, and we'd like to pay our deepest respects.
The garden was all grass when we moved in. It was all lawn, and as you can see behind me, we've turned it into a beautiful native garden where we get a lot of biodiversity.
We built a share library, so we built this out of an old light box that we got from the tip, and just put in some shelves and got books from our local op shops.
We've been drying some lemon verbena from the garden. We also do a lot of dehydrating of the fruit that we grow.
Another thing we've done, which is, has a pretty big impact in the winter particularly, is to install honeycomb blinds. We actually got these from the tip as well, and fortunately they were the perfect size. We just had to do some adaptation to be able to fit them to the window. But in addition to this, we've also got plastic film. Acts as it's basically cheap secondary glazing. Bubble wrap will do a similar job. So you might just want to think about restricting access for critters. So this is our north-facing sunroom. Actually trying to reduce the heat gain that comes in. So to do that, we've installed honeycomb blinds and these 3 windows that we got custom built. And we've also built some secondary glazing out of Perspex. So that we've blocked up this section because we didn't need to see basically right down underneath there. So we used insulation, sourced secondhand timber and secondhand materials where we could, and built these. And then here on my right, we've also blocked up, this used to be more of this window. So we blocked that, insulated, and that's made a big difference.
So we started to grow some grapevines, as you can see up along the sort of edges. We're sort of hoping that it shades the whole area.
We chose this house to retrofit because it had a really big north-facing backyard. Within here we've got an apple tree, avocado, nectarine, apricot, peach. We grow mushrooms under the fruit trees here. We've connected the water from the shower to go empty out the pipe into here, which you can see why there's so much great growth of mint.
Through to our greenhouse. It's a really cozy place to sit inside and have a tea when it's raining as well. This actually used to be, it was sort of like a shed. Like it had these 2 sliding doors here. When we moved in, this whole section was just, there were some shelves, there was just lots of rat poo and sort of nothing. We didn't really know what to do with it, so we ripped the doors off. And that's how we got the idea to find this greenhouse. We sort of saw this greenhouse and thought, well, how can we extend it? How can we utilize this space that was already here that we weren't using? And as you can see, it's working really well. Little containers there that we've done. We've also got a water tank in here that collects rain. It also creates a nice moist environment for some of the little secret mushroom logs that we have growing in here as well. I believe that one there, we put some plugs, was it reishi?
Shiitake.
No, shiitake, yeah.
And the laundry water washes out into this section here and waters our cherry tree, Vietnamese mint and red vein sorrel. And again, yeah, if you're going to do that, make sure you're using enviro-friendly laundry detergent. Got these 2, they're called IBC totes. They're about 1,000 litres. They use them in farming to store grain and things. And if you're going to get them, make sure you do get ones that haven't been used to store any chemicals or anything.
Made a fernery here, just out of recycled pallets and some old shade cloth.
We've got our 3-bay composting system here. It might not look pretty, but it does the job.
We also have a little worm tower which is full of happy worms. We get a lot of good worm juice out of it, which goes straight back to the garden. So yeah, we're sort of trying to utilize like every spot of the garden.
There's what remains of the ducting. Doing the underfloor insulation has been an ongoing job that we've done with a couple of different types of insulation that we got secondhand, and then yeah, it's, as you can see here, there's quite a bit of clearance, so it's quite good. But towards the front of the house, there's probably about that much clearance, which is pretty claustrophobic. My bones. The existing gas hot water system, so we got a heat pump system installed. That we can also adjust the time of when this runs, so we've adjusted it to power up just when the solar is running. So this is our induction cooker. Yeah, we basically just got the cheapest one that we could get, and it works like an absolute treat. Before we got this, it took a while we ordered it to actually receive, I think probably about 4 or 5 months. So in that time, we wanted to get rid of the gas cooktop that came with the house as soon as we could. So we just stopped using it, put a board over the top of it. Found this at an Oppie for $10, used that, and then we bought an air fryer as well so we could still roast our veggies. Having gas ducted heating meant we've got a lot of vents all over the house, so we had to seal a lot of these up, and to do that we reused, as I mentioned a few times, the insulation that was around the ducting underneath the house. Installed a reverse cycle split, which is just behind, to 4 kilowatt. We zoned off this area by putting in a door that I got for free off someone, I think from Marketplace. Had to do a bit of draft sealing. Yeah, so we put in a frame and made this door. We've had exterior wall insulation put in because it's a weatherboard home. Rather than taking off all of the boards, felt that the easiest approach was to get blow-in insulation. Definitely made a difference having that wall insulation as well through winter. This is our Listen Leaf here. It was the essentially the cheapest one we could get that would still get us to Melbourne, so it's got about 230k range. And we just charge it up from a regular power point here. We just charge it overnight or during the day when the solar's on. We got this model for another reason, was because of its potential for bi-directional charging, so hoping that in the future we could use it as a battery on wheels.